What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Storm issue number 2, as we jump back into the past, picking up in the era of Uncanny X-Men. Right now, it is a time of change for the X-Men. With recent events, we have seen Storm become the new leader of the X-Men team, taking on a new look, a new hairstyle. This sudden change has deeply affected the young Kitty Pryde, and though this relationship is strained, Storm has found a new friend, an inventor by the name of Travis. And while this friendship blossoms, Storm has really begun to distrust her powers, in the wake of unintended weather events at times putting innocent lives in danger. During one of these episodes, a strange creature had appeared, and in their ensuing battle, Storm had lost control, causing her to plunge into the sea, and she continues to face against Blowback. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up exactly where issue number 1 had left us off. In the depths of the ocean, with Blowback and Storm facing off against one another. The only problem, Storm is not able to use her powers correctly. While she finds herself underwater needing air, she cannot pull any air towards her, not with her powers being so erratic. Her own whirlwind had spun her like a child's toy, and while she has this battle against Blowback, she is wondering what is she without her powers. Finding that confidence, she knows that she is still Storm, being able to break out of the water and making it to the surface. She asks this creature why this thing is following her, why it is chasing her. And by the little dialogue that it does give, it says that it saved her, wondering why Storm would try to hurt it. When she tries to conjure lightning, it's almost as if it runs away from her, and Blowback tries to let her know that something is wrong with her. But she fights against this, saying that weather is her friend, lightning her ally. As Blowback gets a huge jolt of lightning, we see a tornado begin to form, and this tornado catches on fire, with Blowback going on to say that she is lost, and that she is her own shadow. And with this display of ridiculous power, Storm goes unconscious. That is what takes us over to the Danger Room. At the X-Men mansion, we have the X-Men team that is currently training. Right now, we have Colossus and we have Rogue, the two of them together taking on all of the bots. The only problem with this, Rogue isn't doing what is necessary. She is not working as a team. She is showing a lack of control. As this training session comes to an end, Wolverine comes into the room, letting Colossus know that he did a great job. Rogue, on the other hand, was a total fail. We are seeing that Rogue is still very much struggling to be a part of this team. But as their training session comes to an end, we pick back up with Storm. Now washed up on the shore, she finds herself next to a boathouse. But this isn't just any boathouse. This is the boathouse of Travis. Storm now remembering that she had agreed to meet him here last night, but she never showed up. But with Storm going inside, she is not greeted by Travis with smiles. Travis immediately attacks, not knowing that this was Storm, believing that this might have been a thief. Apologizing immediately, the two of them go and sit down. Storm goes on to talk about how she had another incident last night. As the two sit down in front of the potbelly stove, Storm goes on to talk about mutants. That whatever genetic source makes them different, they manifest their special skills when they are very young. This has made her ponder that if they are mutants, can they mutate further? Last night, she had created a windstorm and it spun with fire. It felt almost as if it was an unnatural manifestation of her powers. And her lightning, it doesn't strike, it swirls and snakes. Now, Travis being an inventor and understanding the weather relatively well, he tells her that it's possible that when she bends the weather in one spot, that she shifts the weather somewhere else. That calling for lightning at her whim, this could have a cumulative effect. This is very similar to the weather warping principles present in his Neotech, but the device controls the repercussions. And now Storm is wondering how she could possibly track every possible backlash from using her powers. The truth is, she had began her life blind to repercussions, even as a child in Cairo, as she was practicing misdirection flying a kite to look innocent, to deflect her real intention, which is pickpocketing. But on this day, Storm had got caught. After being caught and scolded, in that moment she decided to change her life, to no longer be a thief. And while she didn't necessarily keep this promise to herself, she would go on to steal again. Travis does speculate that he wonders if her powers manifested in Africa, that maybe she left too soon. But as the two of them have this conversation, we see them get real close and they kiss, with the logs in the fire popping. It breaks up this moment, but he goes on to say that there is a fancy event going on tonight for his Neotech, and he is cordially inviting her to come along. Meanwhile, back at Charles Xavier's School for the Gifted Youngsters, we have Kitty Pryde, who is really doing some research on this Travis guy. She has a bad feeling about him and she doesn't trust him in the slightest, as Kitty Pryde begins to investigate an associate by the name of Simone. That's what takes us to the gala, as we pick up at the Neotech conference. Everybody shows up in their top attire. The X-Men coming in the door, Storm introduces the X-Men to Travis, and Travis goes on to make some great impressions on every single member of the X-Men, all except for Wolverine. Now, while everybody is doing this whole thing, we see the woman Simone saying that she's going to a meeting for the highest bidder. That's where somebody follows behind her, quickly learning that Simone is in fact Mystique, and the person following Mystique just so happens to be Kitty Pryde, trying to wear a disguise, trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. But Travis and Mystique, they're not working together. Mystique is here to steal some Neotech, with Kitty Pryde getting her hands on the mind of Mystique, letting her know that she could simply kill her right here, right now. But Mystique knows that she won't do this. She knows that she is working solo. And Mystique also knows that this could be a way to pull Storm away from Travis. That if you want Storm to ditch this guy, they can work together on this hustle. They can end everything that he is doing tonight, leave him broke and bankrupt. And so while she ponders this decision, we pick up in the bathroom. Travis has headed off into there and Wolverine has followed behind. Wolverine immediately lets it be known that he doesn't like this guy. And Travis says that he knows this, but he owns her heart and she owns his. This makes Wolverine lose it, using the words own her. This makes Wolverine just snap. And while he didn't necessarily mean it in that manner, this was just the excuse Wolverine needed to let this guy know. He is telling him to walk away, to do so or they are gonna have problems. Bringing his claws out, he is letting him know that you need to break it off or else. This is when Storm walks into the room and gives Wolverine one heck of a left punch. She had heard him shouting from the hall. And if this is how he really feels, if this is how all the others feel as well, then she is going to give up her leadership position in the X-Men, telling Wolverine that he can now lead the team because she is resigning. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. When it comes to issue 2, there's nothing super exciting going on. Honestly, it feels more like a drama than anything else. It's starting to really feel like this blowback entity individual, it might be Travis. Travis seems to know a lot about the weather. He's saying that he's helping her out. Blowback is saying that he's helping Storm out. And that seems to be the same thing that Travis is doing. So there's the possibility that Blowback is in fact Travis. And if Travis is not Blowback, then Travis probably has some ill intentions. Probably wants to use Storm for some way, shape, or form when it comes to his little invention. And everybody around Storm, they know that something is up with Travis. But she's not listening. In fact, it is only making her dig her feet in more as everybody tries to warn her, with Storm pushing everybody away. Now resigning from the X-Men team, Wolverine is back in charge. All in all, issue number 2 wasn't the worst comic, but it's definitely nothing to talk about. It's moving the plot forward, but there's nothing too exciting going on. The artwork style for me, I would say it's subpar. The potential is definitely there for this comic, but so far, I'm still not really hugely invested in what's going on. Having nothing to do with really anything going on in present-day Krakoa. With Storm so popular right now, it feels like Marvel is taking an opportunity to try to cash in on Storm. She has been spotlighted so big lately. It feels like it's almost a missed opportunity to not do a solo series that is taking place in present day. But we have seen them for a while now, going back to the Uncanny X-Men days, trying to appease the fans that are not really happy with Krakoa. But these comics that are kind of gap fillers for the Uncanny X-Men, they're not really hitting the mark either. But we'll have to see where all of this goes. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Storm, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this issue. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.